Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be making some Salisbury steak with some roasted potatoes and also some roasted green beans and garlic. So stick around and let's get cooking.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette.
And before we go any further, make sure to remember to hit subscribe right now. Also, click the bell and then select all. That way, every time I upload a new recipe and a cooking video, you get notified and you never miss out on great food. All right, guys, let's get back to cooking. Okay, so first things first, because it's gonna be Salisbury steak, get an apron. If you don't, you're gonna end up having a ton of grease on your clothes, and trust me, you don't want that because it's not gonna come out. Don't forget your towel, and if you're wearing an apron, you can just put it right underneath your robe in the front and it'll hold it. So let's get started, guys. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the patties and we're gonna go ahead and start cooking them. We're gonna season them with salt and pepper, get those cooked, and then while these are cooking, we're gonna start on our vegetables, which are the onions that we're gonna chop up, our mushrooms, we're gonna get the roux going for the gravy, get the potatoes started, the green beans, and everything's gonna kind of be going together. So I know that this is something that a lot of new cooks struggle with is timings, but I'm gonna walk you through it, and it's actually a lot easier than what you think. So let's go. Okay, so to start this, we're gonna go ahead and use our skillet. Go ahead and get it on a medium heat. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add some salt, Mediterranean sea salt. And then we're also gonna add some crushed black pepper. Most of the seasoning is actually gonna be in the gravy mix. And then we're just gonna throw these on the skillet. Now, because I have a large family, I usually will do 2 batches of patties. Because anybody who knows the boys knows they love to eat. So I'm just going to do the same thing. And we're going to get these thrown in as well. See how many we can fit in there. That's about as much as we can do. The thing we're going to do is you're just going to season again the other side. Same thing, salt and pepper. Now how I normally do this is I'm going to cook these to about right in between medium rare and medium. And the reason why is because they're going to cook some more in the gravy. You don't want them cooked too much. The beef we're using is actually an Angus beef that is 85-15. You don't want something that is too lean or you don't have enough fat for the meat. Okay, so now that we have our patties going, we're gonna head over and we're gonna start with our vegetables so that we can get those cooked down and get our roux going so that that can cook down. We can start our gravy and then we'll head over to veggies. So we have our onions chopped. Do a fine chop. This recipe is actually really good with bigger chunks of onion, so I don't finely dice this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get our skillet going at medium-high heat, add our olive oil. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of garlic, our onions, our portobello mushrooms, get that all cooking. So let's head over.
I can't forget the day we met. You look so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair.
So it's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes, and then you're going to go ahead and just flip your patties and start cooking on the other side. Another thing that I also like to do is I vent with my lid. I don't put it on all the way, but I do cover it to where there's just a little gap so that the grease doesn't come out, but it can breathe. Now when you're sauteing vegetables, the best thing you can hear is that sizzle, because it means that your heat is high enough. And then we're going to reserve, out of the 5 tablespoons, about 1.5 or 2. Now we're also going to add a pound of sliced portobello mushrooms. We're going to just give this a stir, and then we're going to add our seasonings. So we've got crushed black pepper. We love pepper in my family, so we add a lot. Then we're going to add our Mediterranean sea salt blend. We're going to add some minced onion. And all of these spices, it's preference. There's not, an exact amount that you have to add. It's going to depend on what you enjoy. So the next thing we're going to add is the garlic powder. I didn't realize this was not opened. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's ever happened to. Or I'm sorry, this is onion powder. We're going to add our garlic powder. And then we're going to also add our parsley. It's just not my day. Okay, so see how all these are here? We're just going to start stirring around. Give it a really nice stir. Make sure you get all those ingredients mixed together, the spices and the garlic. And then you're just going to let this cook down. Move over to the potatoes now. We're going to get those started. Then we're going to get the green beans started. And we're going to come back to our veggies in a few minutes. It's going to take like 10-15 minutes for them to go ahead and caramelize and get nice and soft and all those flavors come out. So let's head over and we'll go start on the potatoes. For the potatoes, you're going to need some extra virgin olive oil. This is going to be several tablespoons worth. Then we're going to go ahead and add our parsley. We're going to add our garlic powder. Our sea salt. And our pepper. Once you've got everything in, you're going to give all of this a really good stir. You want it to get all mixed up. Make sure that that coating is on all the potatoes. And while you're doing this, you can go ahead and start your oven to 350 to go ahead and get it preheated. Now these were little baby potatoes. I did not have the normal ones. I went ahead and got the steamables because that's all that the store had. Unfortunately, we're still out of a lot of stuff. It's hard to keep on the shelves with COVID. So I bought the steamables, but I did not steam them in the bag. It just tastes so much better with the oven. Now, depending on your oven and how well it works, how hot it is, you can roast these between 350 and 375. So I'm gonna start at 350. Personally, I'm still getting used to the whole gas, or I'm sorry, not gas stove, but electric stove. I grew up with gas, so I'm not a fan of electric, and getting used to temperatures and times, you have to start all over again. So we're gonna start at 350, see how that does. If I have to bump it up, I can bump it. And took out some of these. These are ready to come out. Put the last 5 in. Those are cooking. Remember to tilt your top so that it can steam out. Now we're going to take a peek at the veggies. That those look delicious. Okay, at this point in time, once they start cooking really well, you're going to go ahead and turn your temperature down to low medium. Let these cook for about 10 minutes more. Then we're going to add our flour to get our roux going, and also you want to cover the vegetables at this point. Okay, so we have our potatoes. We're going to go ahead and put them on a cooking sheet that's been lined with foil. Just get those ready to go, and then we're going to go ahead and toss them in the oven. And these are going to cook for about 35-40 minutes. So let's get those in there. And now we're going to start on our green beans. Okay, so using the same bowl that we did our potatoes, we're going to go ahead and put our green beans in there. They've all been washed. We're going to add our olive oil, just a couple of tablespoons. We're going to add our garlic. And then we're also going to add our crushed black pepper and our salt. And then same thing, we're going to go ahead and mix these as well. You're just going to add your Mediterranean sea salt as well. And again, it all depends on your taste buds, what you like. If you like a lot of salt, a lot of pepper, then go ahead and add a lot. Alright, we're just going to give this a toss. Get that olive oil, all that garlic, salt and pepper, everything mixed up. And then same thing, we're going to let this rest for about 10 minutes. Woo, we got garlic flying everywhere. It's going to be delicious. So after your green beans have been sitting a while, I have my big cast iron skillet I've lined with foil. And all I'm going to do is just pour these green beans in here. Now, if I would have had Parmesan, I would have added Parmesan as well, but sadly, my kids ate it all, and I didn't know that. So, it also is really, really good with Parmesan as well. But you're going to go ahead and get these in the oven as well. You can cook the same temperature as your potatoes. So now pretty much it's, you know, everything is caught up in a waiting game. One tip I'm going to give you is a lot of people really don't like cooking because of the mess. But if you clean as you go, it just makes it so much easier. You don't have to worry about a huge pile of dishes after you're done. And you can see behind me, I clean as I go. It just makes it so much easier. So, you know, while you're waiting for your vegetables to marinate, or you're waiting for your meat to marinate, or you're going back and forth in between, when you're done with something, it's just super easy to wash it. You know, rinse it out, put it in your dishwasher, or like us, we don't have a dishwasher, I just wash it and throw it in the strainer. So, pro tip. Let's go check on the rest of our meat, see how they're doing. They should almost be ready to come out, and then they can sit and rest.
Those are looking real good.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me
can also add, if your vegetables start to get a little bit too dry, just add a little bit of the beef broth. This is what we're going to be using for our gravy. Oh, that just spilled everywhere. So just go ahead and use enough just to deglaze the pan. Not very much, about 1/4 of a cup. So we're going to go ahead and make our roux. What you're going to do is you're just going to add a couple of tablespoons and you're just going to dust it on top. So you need some liquid in here so that this can attach to the liquid, and then we're going to have it cooked down. And this is what's going to make your gravy nice and creamy. Now I know that some people, they want to use cornstarch or something because they think it's faster, but I'm telling you, once you learn how to make roux, it's so much better. One thing you do have to remember is you do want this flour to cook down so that you don't end up with a flour taste. So all you're going to do is you're just going to stir it, make sure it's all mixed up, and then let it just cook down for a few minutes. And then we're going to go ahead and add our broth. Okay, so it's all nice and cooked down. Now we're going to go ahead and add our broth. I've got 4 cups of beef broth. Now all you're going to do is just gently stir, and the roux is going to come off of the veggies, mix with the broth, and once it begins to cook, it'll thicken up. And you just go slow so that you don't slosh it over the sides. And just make sure that you get everything mixed together. Now once we get this done, we'll go ahead and give it a taste. If we need to add any more spices, that's the time that you can do it. Once this thickens up, we'll add it to our beef patties as well. Okay guys, so our sauce is nice and thick. You're going to go ahead and just give it a stir. And then we're going to transfer it back to the other skillet. I cleaned out all the grease, got the patties back in there. We're just going to pour this on top, only on low, until our potatoes and our green beans are done, and then we'll put it in. So we got the gravy in there. Now we're just going to give it a quick stir, cover it, and wait. Oh my goodness. You just want to make sure that everything has some gravy on it before covering it. Look at that. Okay guys, so the easiest way to check your potatoes is for it goes in nice and easy, your potatoes are done. So we're going to pull everything out of the oven. We are ready to eat.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You look so fly in your red carpet.
I cannot even tell you guys how good this smells.
I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone. My summer love.
Delicious. So the only thing left is the taste test. Let's go give it a taste and see how it is. It smells so good. Alright, let's give it a try. Put that down because you know how awful it is when you have like soup potatoes in your mouth.
You have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet. With you I know that I'm complete.
Oh my gosh, those potatoes are so good.
I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never let me go. My summer love, we're waiting for you, my love. My summer
Now, the best way to do it is to get a mushroom on with your bite.
my love is forever yours. Forever yours. My love is forever yours.
It is so good. It is so good. If you are not used to making gravy from scratch, you gotta start. It's so good. Alright, now for the green beans.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me pressing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so
Those are really good.
made me swoon.
So the one thing I like about roasting green beans is they still stay nice and crisp. I am not a fan of green beans or any vegetable that gets overcooked and mushy. I love roasting my vegetables because they stay nice and firm, they're crunchy. When you roast it in the oven, it takes down that garlic flavor and just mellows everything out so it blends perfectly. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit subscribe on your way out. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you thought of this meal. If you love Salisbury steak as much as we do, it's so much easier to make it on your own. All right, guys. See you next time. Happy cooking. Oh, my Lord.